Welcome to Decode Dune, an exegesis of the Dune universe.
Welcome to Decode Podcast Dune Edition. This is Mike. Jeff's here.
What's up?
Hi. We're
Does
recording.
that sound radio like?
Yeah,
Okay, good.
I guess.
What's up? What? Oh wait, what's
yeah.
up? Wait, it's football day. What's up?
Yeah, we are recording this. This is the second episode we're recording today on 2/13/22, which is Super Bowl Sunday.
Not
that really matters in the context if you won't hear this till
the
late
Dolphins
February.
versus the Unicorns. I'm predicting the Dolphins are going to take it by a nose.
That's right. I got you. That's a nose joke.
It's a sports ball joke.
How
How many baskets do you have to get to win the Super Bowl, Mike?
I don't know. I don't know. I just not many.
Okay, good.
All of them.
What if the other team gets all the baskets too? Then do you have to hit a home run? Maybe later you can explain how sports ball works.
Yeah, you have to do all that.
Okay.
Right.
Sounds challenging.
Yeah. So we're on page 353 of our edition of Dune. Jeff, do you want to start us off with the intro?
I do. Prophecy and prescience. How can they be put to the test in the face of the unanswered question? Consider, how much is actual prediction of the waveform, as Muad'Dib referred to his vision image, and how much is the prophet shaping the future to fit the prophecy? What of the harmonics inherent in the act of prophecy? Does the prophet see the future, or does he see a line of weakness, a fault, or cleavage that he may shatter with words or decisions, as a diamond cutter shatters his gem with the blow of a knife? From Private Reflections on Muad'Dib by the Princess Irulan. So the question here is really a what the thinker thinks, the prover proves kind of an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's reflections on Schrodinger's cat. What's the impact of the observer on what is being observed? How does will and intent play into your vision of the future? And yeah, there's lots of questions here.
Yeah.
If a tree falls in the forest, I can't remember how that goes.
Does anyone hear it? I think
trees don't talk.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
Is that like the question that what's his name asked in Silence of the Lambs? Can you hear them screaming, Clarice? Yeah, right. So if a tree falls in the forest, does anybody hear it? No, I don't think that's really the question. This is the observer, the impact of the observer on the observed.
Yeah.
So is Paul shaping the outcome, or is he merely observing what is sort of preordained? And that's where the Schrodinger's cat sort of question comes in, right? What's the effect of what is the observer? How does the observer affect the experiment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My view is, I think my view is, I think, yeah, he sees the positive. I don't know if I think it's all inevitable. I think his decisions, effectively speaking, are what end up making everything happen.
Yeah, right. Because those decisions are being made based on this sort of his interpretation of his visions related to the future.
Right. That's my take.
Yeah. There's a question of human agency. How much do we have? What's really governing our behaviors? But we can leave all that aside for right now.
We can.
You know, in the last chapter, we were talking a little bit about the coming genocide, and it reminded me, but I didn't say anything, of how there's like a group of folks who have picked up, they probably have only read the first book, and have sort of picked up on Paul as a hero figure.
Yep.
Which surprises the fuck out of me every time I think about it, but especially here in this context, right? So why is this even a question? Because what's about to happen is horrible. Not good. No version of this jihad is beneficial for really anyone. So the fact that it rains on Arrakis in some form or fashion, or that Arrakis is transformed, comes at the cost of billions of lives throughout the galaxy.
Billions.
Billions. There's like no fucking way that what's happening is good for anybody. Certainly not good for the Fremen. Certainly not good for the universe.
Mm-hmm.
This is not good. But people insist on casting him as a hero. It's fucking bananas. Even he knows he's not the hero.
Mm-hmm.
From very early.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I just wonder if you have any thoughts on why people insist on casting Paul as
a hero.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess they don't know enough to not know. I mean, people. I think a lot of people are drawn to the idea of trying to find heroes in writing, right? You know, this isn't like a quote unquote grim dark novel where, I mean, I guess it arguably could be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. People seem to tend to want heroic characters that they can relate to.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't really have a lot to say about it.
Okay. I just wonder if the same people read American Psycho
Uh-huh.
and are just like, this guy's amazing.
Yeah.
Wish he was my president.
Yeah. I'd say the only comment I can make is none of that stuff happens until the second book, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's just the quality, the way it's written or not. I don't know. I don't know if I ever really felt his I don't know if I really ever felt his anti-hero-ness. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
It just didn't really emotionally penetrate me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think maybe
Mike,
it's because
so now we now know Mike is hard to emotionally penetrate.
I mean, maybe it's just because none of it actually happens in the present time. It's all, you know, he's insulated from it, you know? Like we don't really actually see any of the suffering.
Wait, what? His father is murdered. He witnesses the suffering of the people of Arrakis.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about in the second book. I'm talking about the jihad. The jihad.
Wait.
No, we don't see the jihad.
Oh, we don't see the jihad.
Yeah.
That's
right.
That's
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't.
We only experience it through the veterans. Yeah, I got you.
His alleged evilness is, I feel he's insulated from it, and I'm insulated from it, in the sense that when you're reading Dune Messiah, it's like, oh yeah, this stuff happened because of these decisions that have been made, and these are the things that happen. And I guess I'm just maybe I'm just a dum-dum, or I'm dense, but I guess I would say the fact that I don't see it or experience it firsthand just makes me kind of shrug and go, you know, is it really real? Or like, you know, not that I question whether it happened or not.
No, this is what you're tapping right into it. Yeah, this is why people do question the Holocaust, I think.
Yeah,
this is why people are fucking watching the Olympics.
Wait, what?
This is why they're watching so why aren't our news people in China? It's ostensibly, this is our response to a fucking genocide, right? But we're still showing the Olympics. Oh, the Uyghur genocide. So but we're still showing. Look, even that, right? What? There's a genocide here?
No, I know about the Uyghur genocide. No, you've lost me though. What's the connection between the Uyghur genocide and
no one's experiencing, like you said, because you're not directly experiencing it.
Yeah.
And you can question it. So if to be born at this time just allows you a safe distance from the Holocaust, it allows you a safe distance from the impact of the Civil War. It just, everything just gets relegated to some weird, like, I wasn't there. I don't really feel it. Like, I get it. I understand it. It doesn't resonate or penetrate emotionally. And so you could start to question even its importance, or its validity, its importance, or even its truth.
Yeah. I mean, for what it's worth, we're more connected than ever in terms of the news. So people have been definitely farther away from events in you talk about like the sacking of essentially all of Latin America by the Spaniards. Someone in Poland at that time, it would,
we are both more connected and less connected.
Yeah.
This is so the result of Bush Cheney.
Yeah.
Is that there are no, like, the rules on media ownership were destroyed, and this was done intentionally by the GOP.
Mm-hmm.
So now all facts are they're all in dispute.
Right.
There is no longer a source of truth because it's interesting to me that the big Republican gripe in 2016 to 2022 has been about the lamestream media.
Yeah.
Which are and the causes for the current conditions are literally the rules that they dismantled. Rules about media ownership and in the market, like, it's bonkers.
Yeah.
But the impact, you're right, is that we're both right on the news and we're post fact.
Right.
It's the worst of both things, right? So now there's this very short media cycle in which something is important or valuable politically, and that ends very, very quickly. And then everything is about opinion, no facts. Do you remember why we didn't go to the Olympics, the Russian Olympics? I've forgotten.
What do you mean by this? We are not at the Olympics.
We did not send our reporters to China. We are boycotting the Olympics by not sending American press. That's our response to
that's not a real
Uyghur.
That's true. Boycott.
That's true. Yeah, I know. Also, just this as a Californian, I hope this.
I had not heard this, but okay.
They're in fucking sound stages in Culver City, generating fake snow in the middle of another fucking drought. But anyway, that's terrible for different reasons. But yeah, so we withheld press. And I was just saying, do you like remember why we didn't at all go to the Olympics during the Russian Olympics? I don't remember.
Probably something very similar. I don't know. I don't know about these things. It was news to me until right now that we are alleged, because I've been watching them. I've seen the medal count. So, obviously we're competing in the Olympics, which is the real thing. If we boycotted it, we wouldn't be there.
So in 1980, we boycotted the Summer Olympic Games in Moscow to protest the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. We withheld our players.
Oh, right.
Okay. Today we have an actual genocide.
Yeah.
Legitimate murdering of a whole group of people. An ethnic minority within China. And our response to the genocide is, we're still going to air it on television. We're going to let all of our athletes play, but we won't send our reporters to actual China.
Yeah.
It's
all very stupid.
Well, I'm relating it to where we are in Dune, or to that question in Dune. So, like, how quickly, how fast are we able to move beyond the actual facts? Everything's a signifier of fucking literally nothing.
Yeah. Also, just a real quick hot take. Since about 2018, I've been hearing people talk about the Uyghurs, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have a hard time. With the people who are talking about the Uyghurs, unless they've also been talking about what the United States has done to the Muslim world for the past 20 years.
Yeah, fuck. We were like, so here's what we did to help the people of Yemen. We helped bomb them.
Right.
Yeah. Right. I mean, this is not ordinarily a political podcast, and I'm actually not really trying to be political. I'm trying to make a point about how that point of view, when you're separated in time, space, or even emotionally from the facts, from the things that are actually happening, how easy it is to kind of lose your ground.
Yeah.
How do you make moral decisions inside of a framework in which you can't really understand facts or consequences?
Yeah.
No, there's no causal relationships anymore. There's only political ones. It's weird. Yeah. So some people are rightly saying this is the genocide Olympics or whatever. They're not wrong, but also, as you point out, from a relativist perspective or a whataboutist perspective, there are many, many horrors that have been visited on Muslims,
right,
that we directly have participated in, indirectly participated in. Our Aung San Suu Kyi, our hero, turned out not to be one, right?
Right.
Enabled a genocide against the Rohingyas. This is the saddest part of my whole life as a Buddhist, is watching fellow Buddhists in a Buddhist country commit an ethnic genocide. It's bananas to me.
Yeah. I mean, they love it.
Wait, what? They love it.
Yeah, people love doing genocide.
Yeah. And in that particular case, Facebook facilitated it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bananas. Okay, well, I probably dug a really deep hole for myself right here, but
that's okay.
I think the point was it's very easy to misunderstand when there's no context, or you can't feel emotional resonance because you don't have enough context or proximity to the events. So you can be right on top of the news cycle like we are today. And I'm sure that people are in the Dune universe. I'm sure there must be like, this just in, Fremen spotted in the middle of the desert. Right? But without context, without meaning, without facts, it's just another data point in a sea of them.
Yeah.
Is that too dark? Did I go too dark?
No, it's fine with me. That's what I was saying is Paul's not a hero. A lot of people who have read more of the books than just Dune like to point that out to the people who may have not read as much. So they're like, that kind of thing. I just kind of shrug at all of it. I think some of it could be the writing, some of it could be the perspective.
Well, so the opening question was, what is the relationship between the person with a future perspective or understanding of potential consequences? What's the impact of their decision making along a road to some outcome? That's where that's what grounds us in this chapter. So I just wanted to bring it back here. And so let's get into the chapter. Here they are. Paul and Jessica have still not made out, as Mike predicts they will.
No, I don't predict they will. I just in the movie, at least, Jessica. Not in the book, but in the movie, Jessica definitely wants to fuck Paul.
I was just trying to be funny and to raise that important point.
Yeah. Yep, and I'm following it.
So here they are. They've had plenty of private sexy time opportunity, but have managed to keep their mitts off of each other.
Yep.
And they are found by a group of Fremen who are surrounding them.
Yep.
And they are speaking the Chekhov's
hunting language.
Hunting language, yes.
And there's a couple things we're seeing here. We learn relatively quickly it's Stilgar, who that's not we learned relatively quickly it's Stilgar, who Paul had already met. They want the water. We see early indications of they may not I was meaning to say in the Keen's chapter, the one we did last episode, Keen's actually says something like they may not have a use for the mother, but they will take the boy and protect him if they find him.
Yep.
So we saw that foreshadowed, and then here in this chapter, it's direct that they are throughout this chapter literally saying, at the beginning at least, we don't have anything for you, but we could have something for the boy.
Yeah, this is where they're like, she immediately kicks Stilgar's ass.
Yeah.
And then they're like, she doesn't know the ways of the desert.
Right.
Like, you fucking chauvinist fuck.
Right. And they're saying, and they say it's out of our hands. It's,
Shai Hulud.
what's it called? It's the law istisla.
Yes.
To deem proper in Arabic. The
Yes.
law istisla is a method employed by Islamic jurists to solve problems that find no clear answer in sacred religious texts. It is related to something or public interest, both words being derived from. So where am I going with this? The idea is it's already been decided that, like, sorry, them's the rules. If you don't know the ways of the desert, then you can't just join us.
Nope. Yeah.
Can't do it. You'd be putting our entire tribe in danger, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, so Jessica just fucks Stilgar up.
Yeah, and that's where he's like, oh, actually, so they're saying all of that, I think, before they threaten violence, and then she does
he asks, he's like, are you trained in the ways of the desert? She's like, no, but many consider my training valuable. And then he's like, we'll make our own judgments on you.
Oh, right. Sorry, yeah.
They have this whole interaction, and then she fucking whoops his ass with her Jeet Kune Do.
That's
Benny Gesserit Kung Fu.
That's where it seems like he's looks like he's about to try to do some violence against her. And that's where she catches him before he can do it.
He's just gonna dispatch her for her water.
And he's like, yeah, right. And then he's like, oh shit, why didn't you say you knew the weirding way? Which that is a term that is introduced for the first time in this chapter. And
I want to read this paragraph, can I?
Yeah,
because it's so good. Jessica's motion started as a slumping, deceptive feint to the ground. It was the obvious thing for a weak outworlder to do, and the obvious slows an opponent's reactions. It takes an instant to interpret a known thing when that thing is exposed as something unknown. She shifted, so they're really just describing the OODA loop. She got inside Stilgar's OODA loop pretty fucking fast.
Mm-hmm.
And now his whole sense of timing is slower than hers.
Mm-hmm.
In jiu-jitsu, we know this feeling, right? We create a dilemma, and then they're like, fuck, I have to choose two ways, which way I want to die. And then you're free to do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
It takes an instant to, she shifted as she saw his right shoulder drop to bring a weapon within the folds of his robe to bear on her new position. A turn, a slash of her arm, a whirling of mingled robes, and she was against the rocks with the man helpless in front of her. She did some Benny Gesserit Aikido bullshit on him, and Stilgar is now a helpless baby. Should she have rendered Stilgar for his water right here?
Yeah, maybe. No.
Like in a just universe, she would have just been like, I'll drink your milkshake, sir.
Yeah. Could have been cool.
Yeah. It all happened too fast for even Paul to understand or do anything.
Yeah.
I like Jessica.
Yeah. And
he's my favorite character in the entire series. Sorry, I'll shut up.
Yeah, he pops Jamis one.
Yeah.
And gets away. This for the way media seems to work is once it's in a movie, that almost becomes the more canonical version. This is not really in the movie exactly, to my understanding. The confrontation between Paul and Jamis happens pretty much immediately when they run into them. There isn't the idea that they're being recruited or they're accepted into the tribe, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So what else do we want to say about this chapter?
I don't know. This is where the continuity piece between the movie, the new movie, and the book here is where Paul and Chani meet, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So just like Jessica kicks Stilgar's ass, Chani gets the better of Paul a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. Does that actually happen?
Oh, maybe I'm mixing the 1984 movie in my head.
I don't know if she does. She makes fun of. She kind of pokes fun at him. She calls him man-child. She says I thought he was kind of on his own, up on like a high spot.
Yeah, but so is she. She's on the ridge with him. I thought she snuck up on him, but I could be.
Maybe.
I could be wrong.
I mean, she criticizes him taking a longer path and more difficult path than needed, and also he made a lot of noise.
Yeah,
maybe that's
ha
how
dummy.
Yeah,
you're a keto sucks.
and even though she's the same age, she calls him a manling or a man child or a man boy or something. Yeah, there's some ribbing.
I've learned from reading pickup books.
What?
Okay. I've learned from reading these books on how to pick women up.
Yeah.
What Chani is doing is she's negging him.
Yeah, she's definitely negging him.
Yeah. She's read the books. She knows what's up.
Yeah. Actually, I was gonna say, yeah, actually, it's funny you mentioned negging. Page 370. Oh, that's a different chapter. Never mind. We'll have to get there.
Okay.
But so the weirding way, right? So
Yeah.
the weirding way is their word. I looked this up months ago. The
Mhm.
weirding way is like their word for. It's not clear whether that is the specific Bene Gesserit martial art or just any martial art that the Fremen don't know.
Yeah.
Because it would seem to imply it's just something they don't know.
Yeah.
And then the specific situation or context here is, you don't know the Bene Gesserit Kung Fu.
Yeah,
And
I
she
mean,
says,
it's
"I'll teach you
described
to."
in the wiki as a form of movement that's influenced by their Pranabindu training.
Bene Gesserit. So
Yeah.
So I guess that's the question then. So we know that the Bene Gesserit have been there. They know about the Bene Gesserit. We know about the Missionary Protectiva. Do you think the weirding way is specifically the Bene Gesserit stuff, or it's just anything they're not familiar with?
I think so. It's actually what the weirding way is a description of what I described earlier, where you get inside an individual or potentially a group's OODA loop.
Right.
Because what happens is you appear you appear to move out of time or out of the time reference of your opponent.
Right.
Yeah. So we do the weirding way, as I described. There are times in jiu-jitsu when you can create the right situation. Barambolos can be one of those moments when they don't really know what's up. Truck can be one of those moments where certain inversions can be those moments where someone thinks that the fight is progressing along a timeline that they understand and control. And then suddenly time changes rapidly, but their perception takes longer to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're in their OODA loop. That's what that means.
Observe,
orient.
Yeah. I'm gonna also just say
act,
it's the Fremen word for the Bene Gesserit martial arts training.
Okay. If you don't want to talk about that other stuff, I guess.
No. I'm saying it's both. No, that's what the Bene Gesserit martial arts training does. That's the outcome of it.
Yes.
Yes. The outcome is it gets in your OODA loop.
Yes.
It's called the weirding way by the Fremen. There we go. Case closed.
Nailed it.
Bam.
You need to do like an emerald thing when you do that. Bam.
Bam. Now the question is to how many times have Stilgar or the Fremen seen it? Or is it something they were already familiar
why did
with?
they have like a straight up name for it?
Yeah, right. That's my question, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Or is it just like he came up with a word out of nowhere? He was like, "Oh, you fucked me up. That was weird. Oh, so you know the weirding way."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we owe this artifact to Herbert's terrible writing style.
Right.
He probably just thought, oh, I'm gonna call it the weirding way. That sounds awesome. And then he had to put those words in somebody's mouth.
Yeah.
And consequences be damned for people who try to understand it later.
Right.
Yeah, why would they have a word for a thing that they don't really understand? It doesn't make sense.
Right.
Or a whole class of things, anyway.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's that. What else in this chapter? To save one from a mistake is a gift of pair. Okay, great. Yeah, there's some stuff. Oh, Jamis is missing. There's a thing.
Yeah.
They have to hurry. The sun's coming up.
Well, there's the whole like, is this the this back to the shutout mapes? Are these the people? That's really what's going on here, is establishing that the Fremen are ready to believe that Paul and Jessica are the fulfillment of Fremen religious prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
This is also tied back to the very beginning when we talked about the Uyghur bullshit, right?
Right.
Like all of this, they're going to go kill billions of people because all of this is the unfolding of a deeply held religious belief.
Right.
They are the righteous people. There are unrighteous people. They're the good guys in the story. There's some bad guys in the story that need to be punished. And that's basically anyone who stands in opposition to them. Yeah, it's going to get bad.
It is going to get bad.
Yeah. Also, there's this whole, I just want to talk about this really quick. This whole, I probably go on about this too much, but this whole idea that hard times make strong men make good times make weak men.
Mm-hmm.
Not true. And not even true here. They would have had to have hidden in the desert for 470 more years or 430 more years or something to make any kind of legitimate change.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, they were being murdered and their planet being just was like a resource pit for a group of ostensibly very weak people.
Right.
The only thing strong about them is their finances, their ability to buy and create the best fighters in the universe.
Talk about the starter car?
The best weapons. I'm talking about the starter car. I'm talking about any of their technological advances.
Oh, yeah.
All of that comes from the so-called good times.
Right.
And this has always been the case. Farmers kick the asses of people that lived on the outskirts.
Yeah.
Almost every story, including like my favorite one, the story of the people in the Caucasus. Are those people tough? Yeah, they're tough. Do they win? They sure as fuck don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where this idea comes from. There's no historical, there's nothing in our history that demonstrates it. It's quite the opposite.
Right.
But again, these 13-year-old kids, they love Ayn Rand,
mm-hmm.
and they love this idea.
Mm-hmm.
All my suffering will make me a badass.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, it's just going to make you an insufferable bitch. But, yeah, but anyway, whose ass will be kicked by a nearly 60-year-old man?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you take my parking space or something, right?
Yeah.
It's important here because what does Paul bring to the Fremen? He brings good times.
Mm-hmm.
He essentially melds them with the emperor's resources.
Right.
And then uses those resources to perform a planetary genocide. So I just want to make it clear for anyone who might be listening to this, still thinking these weird thoughts. This book was literally written to help you to unthink those thoughts. So my job is to make sure that Herbert succeeds.
So the idea is that the Fremen actually didn't do it. The Emperor's resources.
Correct.
Using the Fremen as
correct
a form of hired labor.
A form of hired, mercenary soldiers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Deluded ones at that, because Paul and Jessica know from the very beginning that their religion was implanted by another group. It's all bullshit. Right. But they manipulate these people anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, if you want to be manipulated into being somebody else's mercenary army to commit a genocide, then this is the right guy to worship. Go Paul.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah, good time. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the end of that.
Hey, hold on.
What?
That reminds me. So I think I've told the story before of how I wasn't allowed to see Star Wars. I won't retell it. It's a good story. Go back and listen to episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, where I tell that story multiple times, I'm sure. But in the novelization, they make it pretty clear that Luke just can't wait to join the Imperial Army.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wants to go shoot things.
Mm-hmm.
with a spaceship. Pew pew.
That's right. Yeah, he wants to be a pilot, doesn't he?
Yeah, in the biggest fascist army the universe had ever seen.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Well, so that's
all our heroes are toxic. Okay.
That is yet another episode of Decode. podcast, Dune Edition. This was episode 26.
We should name this Dream Killer.
Dream Killer.
In which Jeff destroys your fascist dreams.
Dream Killer.
Yeah.
So you know where to find us. Obviously, you found this. Hit us up, message us, post in the group. What do you think? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you have thoughts? Join our...
Sorry. Do you... I just took that question literally.
Join our friend Christopher A. Leafy, who is pretty conversational with us. Don't leave Christopher alone.
Yeah.
Shout out to Christopher for being communicative.
Way to use your words, Chris.
Yeah.
Can I call you Chris?
Yeah. I can't answer that. But
I was asking Chris. I assume he'll tell us.
Yeah, he'll tell us. Join him. All right. That's it for this week. Bye.
Bye.
Like and subscribe wherever you listen to this podcast. And to hear more readings, become a Patreon supporter at Patreon/Decode Podcast.